For those of you that are just joining, we're starting out in a restorative pose. And then we'll circle up for check-in. So if you're just joining, we're starting out here in fish pose today with one block in between your shoulder blades and with the other block under the back of your head. And if this doesn't feel comfortable for your body, if this puts pressure on your SI joints or it just feels uncomfortable to rest here for long periods, you could sit cross-legged on a block and just join us for the meditation, the pranayama. Feel free to have your feet on the ground, your knees bent. Feel free to extend your legs or bring your soles of your feet together and open up through the inner thighs, the adductors, the groins in Baddha Konasana. As you settle in, let your eyes close. And as you close your eyes, start to observe your breath. Just notice the rate of your breathing, the depth of your inhale. And this breath is the heart of the yoga practice. So it's a barometer for how we're proceeding with this connection to the mind and the body. The barometer for our focus, our quality of attention, and the physical experience as well. So as you rest here, start to steady your breath, slow it down, and draw into Ujjayi Pranayama, slow, steady, ocean-sounding breath. You're breathing in and out through the nose, and you're sifting your breath past the back of your throat, creating an ocean sound. And as we start to connect deeply to our breath in this way, we start to strengthen the nervous system. So any birth prep class that you might attend is going to be centered around breathing techniques for this reason. And this is why yoga is also so incredible for preparation for childbirth. This connection to the breath, this connection to grounding. Protect your grounding. Strengthen your nervous system and know how to return over and over to the breath and return over and over again to this state of calm. We practice this in yoga, this calm, slow breath, even in challenging poses where the muscles might quiver. Even in intense hip openers where we're experiencing a lot of sensation, this calm, wide, spacious breath. Begin to feel as you inhale that your breath can wash down to your belly. Feel free to place your hands over your belly, whether you're seated or in fish pose, and feel that as you inhale, your belly can expand and rise up towards your palms. And as you exhale, you can allow the belly to fall, even full term. There's a slight hugging in of navel to spine. Bottom of your exhale. And then inhale, feel that expansion. Breathe down to your baby, breathe down to your belly. And exhale, hug in around your baby. Allow the belly to soften. So this is a deeply calming breathing technique you can practice in early labor, You can practice it when you're trying to fall asleep at night. I know insomnia can be an issue for some people in the third trimester. Breathe down to your belly, full diaphragmatic breath. And as you exhale, hug in around your baby. As you inhale, feel all the way down to your pelvis. Can you relax the pelvic floor muscles? Breathe down to the bowl of the pelvis. Breathe down to baby. And as you exhale, can you hug in navel to spine and find a little tone in your pelvic floor, in and up, 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 up. Just take a couple more like that. Full breath. Relax your body over the contour of the blocks and into the support beneath you. Good. And then from here, we'll keep the eyes closed and simply reach the left arm all the way up over your head. If it's not already, take your right hand to your belly and then roll to your left side if you're in fish pose. If you're seated, we are going to come join you so you can stay where you are. So you're going to rest on your left side for a breath. And then you'll use your hands to just gently press back up to any seated posture. You might open your eyes for a moment if you need. Gather up the props that you want to have. You can sit up on a block or a cushion here. We'll sit cross-legged. And once you are settled, go ahead and close your eyes again. Bring your hands to prayer seal at your heart. Feel that imprint of where the block was, the one right between those shoulder blades, so that you can pull your sternum forward to your thumb tips. Open your collarbones, lengthen through the crown, root through your sitting bones. And now as you inhale, circle your arms down, around, and all the way up over the top of your head. And as you exhale, bring your hands right back down the midline and back to your heart center. Nice. Let's do just one more time with the sound of Om. Inhale, reaching up. And then with your eyes closed, bow your forehead to your fingertips. And take a moment here to set an intention, a sankalpa. Might be just a single word that kind of bubbles up into the mind, into the heart. What do you hope for from this practice for your body, your baby, your birth even? What are you seeking from this practice, or perhaps what is this practice seeking of you? And when you feel complete with that, you can release your hands and open up your eyes and for cat-cow circles. So today we'll kind of link into the side body in our cat-cow tilts. So start on all fours, bring your wrists directly underneath your shoulders and bring your knees directly underneath your hips. Yeah, and then round your spine and exhale. And then reach your right ear towards your right hip. You'll open your left side waist. And inhale to arch your spine. Drop your belly, look up. Left ear towards left hip. And as you exhale, round your spine. And keep that going. Right ear to right hip. And inhale, arch. Left ear to left hip. And exhale, round. Right ear to right hip. Inhale, arch. Left ear to left hip. Exhale, round. Now flip direction, left ear to hip. Inhale to arch, really your pelvis. We talked about this last week. Exhale, right ear to right hip and round. Two more. So that churning comes not just from the spine, but you're really tucking and tilting and turning your tailbone left and right, like you're wagging your tail. Move your pelvis, move your pelvis. All right, when you're done with that last one, come back to neutral and lower down onto your forearms. And we're gonna interlace our fingers on the forearms to the mat like this. So your elbows will be shoulders width, Fingers interlaced. And then you could stay here, but I want you to broaden your shoulder blades. So broaden across your upper back by pushing down into the contact elbow to wrist, so that you feel these muscles, your serratus anterior, start to awaken. You can stay here or tuck your toes, lift your hips, dolphin pose. And in dolphin pose, there's an option to straighten your knees. There's an option to bend your knees. You can make your feet a little wider than hips width if you're full term. Make room, make room, make room. Can you keep pressing from your elbows to your wrists, whether your knees are up or down? So you're going to feel a lot of strength and stability where your shoulder blades meet your rib cage. And then can you relax your neck and the weight of your head and still have clearance so that your head doesn't touch the ground? So if your head is touching the ground, push into your forearms a little bit more. Turn on that shoulder stability. And then go back to your breath. Inhale. Exhale. One more deep breath in. Push elbow to wrist, deep breath out. Lower down onto your knees. Bring your big toes together and let's take child's pose. You can separate your hands, forehead to the mat, and just start to roll and rock a little left and right. If you need more space, you can stack your hands or put a block under your forehead. Roll across your forehead like you're erasing any worry lines. And as we pause here for a few more breaths, we'll turn our attention to this notion of vikalpa that we talked about at the beginning. So just noticing or planting the seed to start the process of noticing any fears or doubts that are in your body, in your mind at this point in your pregnancy. And these can be around, giving birth or making space in your home or your career, your finances. All sorts of things can come up. So just take another couple breaths here, rolling and rocking across your forehead, starting to churn the body and the mind around this question. And then find stillness and find your way up to all fours and find your way back into downward facing dog. Tuck your toes, lift your hips. First down dog, just like dolphin, you can bend your knees or you can keep them straight. And notice what helps you to find that untuck of your tailbone. So when you're in down dog, your pelvis is untucked. You're in a bit of an anterior tilt. Just like when you're in cow tilt and you lift your pelvis up. Yeah, good. So knees bent or straight. Nice, Carrie. That looks great through your upper back. Good. Add a little bend to your knees, a little more there, Carrie, and lift up through your pelvis. Keep that beautiful space across your chest and upper back. Yeah, awesome. So nice. One more breath. And then walk your hands all the way back towards your feet to the back of your mat and find your fit. So whatever works for your body and your baby today, you might make your feet wider, you might bring them in closer, you might walk your hands out, or if you're having that nausea, acid reflux, you could take your hands to your shins and reach your heart forward across the room. So we'll take a moment to just experiment. Yeah. Few breaths, feel into your body. Good. I like that length you're making, Mary Kate. Now see if you can relax the back of your neck and keep that length in your side body, that width in your chest. Yeah, good. One more breath. And then hands to your shins and inhale, look forward. Press your shins lightly into your hands. And as you exhale, hands to your hips, hug in around your baby. And as you inhale, rise all the way up to stand and exhale here. We'll inhale, circle the arms down, around, and up over your head. Exhale, gather your hands down all the way through the heart center to your belly. So you're going to place the hands one over the other right at your belly center. Close your eyes and take a big breath down to baby. And as you exhale, hug in around your baby, navel to spine, pelvic floor tones in and up. Big breath in, down to your hands, down to your belly. Exhale, hug in around your baby. One more time, inhale. And exhale. Good. And then as you inhale, open your eyes and bring your feet mat's width if they're not already. Turn your feet out a little bit here. Bend your knees, circle your arms up, and straighten your knees. Push into the floor, look up. Exhale, come down, malasana or modify. So if you have any pubic bone pain, you could pause here in a modified malasana and hug your knees in towards your elbows. So your knees are clamping in. You're awakening your inner thighs. If that's not an issue, come on down all the way into squat. You can sit on a block or two if that's more comfortable. Root into your heels, widen your chest, pull your breastbone forward to your thumb tips. Press into your heels, and can you lift up just a little teeny bit? Find those muscles near your sitting bones. Good. Walk your hands forward, downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. And on your next exhale, lower down onto your knees. You can keep your toes tucked for this first one. We're going to bring our pelvis back, so it's not right over the knee, it'll be behind it, like right over the belly of your calf. And then untuck your tailbone, like a kind of flick of the tail feather up, and walk your hands forward. You could put a block under your forehead. You could rest your forehead to the mat here. Extended puppy pose. Elbows are straight, hands are shoulders width apart. And you feel this melty spot right in between your shoulder blades, concave, like you could put water there and you'd have a bird bath. Reach out through your hands, plug into your fingertips, push down into the floor so you feel stable through the shoulders as you open through the spine. One more breath. Walk your hands back in by your ears, press up to all fours, and let's head back into downward facing dog. Lift your hips, knees bent or straight. Press your thighs out, left thigh, left wall, right thigh, right wall. And untuck your tailbone. So thighs press out, tailbone untucks. You'll feel a sense of space and ease around the pelvic floor and the low abdomen as you do this. And as you free the pelvis, you tilt the pelvis, the low spine can pour forward out of the pelvis. Pour forward towards the top of your mat, towards your thumb tips. Last breath. Walk your hands all the way back towards your feet. Take your time, no rush, find your fold. We'll hang here another breath. And then hands to your shins. Inhale, heart forward, look forward. Beautiful. Hands to your hips, hug in around your baby. Inhale, rise to stand. Exhale, free your thighs, lengthen your tailbone. Inhale to circle your arms down, around, and up. And then exhale, gather your hands down to your belly, close your eyes, take one full breath in, down to baby. And then you exhale, hug in, navel to spine, pelvic floor tones in and up, 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 up. Open your eyes, inhale, turn your feet out, feet mat's width. Find a little bend in your knees, reach your arms up, push into the floor with your feet straight in your knees. Exhale, modified yogi squat, which is halfway down and hugging in to strengthen, or full yogi squat, which is more about opening, opening, opening. And as long as you're not having that pubic bone pain or pelvic floor heaviness, this can be a great pose in the third trimester. The kind of mind-body orientation as we move into third trimester is really about opening, opening, opening. One more breath here. Poses that help you release, feel that apana vayu, that downward flowing energy are great in third trimester. And walk your hands forward, find downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. And this time, as you exhale, lower your knees to the ground. and come onto the tops of your toenails. So you'll release your toes to the ground. Yeah, good. And then again, find like a little cow tilt with just your tailbone. So untuck, happy puppy tail, flick your tail feather up, and keep your pelvis over your knees this time. So it's a steeper back bend. Anahatasana, walk your hands forward. You could put a block under your forehead if this is kind of intense, or you could put your forehead to the mat. Now, as you exhale, really think of hugging in around your baby, navel to spine, so that you don't sway in your low back. And then keep that kind of hugging in around baby, that connection to your core and your low spine, and start to melt your heart. So you're focusing the back bend right up in between your shoulder blades here. With your eyes closed, bring your breath right up to the back of your heart. Breathe it open. Can you untuck your tailbone and widen your thighs? Press the right thigh to the right wall, the left thigh to the left wall. And this is a great posture to support fetal position in the third trimester. One more breath. And walk your hands in. Come on up to all fours and press back to downward facing dog. 3 breaths. Slow down and feel your whole body breathing. And at the bottom of your third exhale, start to walk your hands back. Find your fold. Take an extra breath as you find that, whatever that is for your body today. And bring your hands up your shins. Look forward. Inhale. Nice. Hands to your hips. Exhale, hug in around baby. And then inhale, rise. And exhale. Nice. Circle your arms down, around, and up. And exhale your hands back down to your bump, back down to your belly. Big breath in. Exhale, hug in, navel to spine. And blink your eyes open. All right, so we'll grab one block for this next squat exercise that Mary Kate has been loving. I love it too. I'm on the I did this a lot with postnatal yoga, and I'm kind of on the postnatal yoga for life kick because it's such an amazing practice to find your deep core. And this is a great pose to find a lot of layers of the deep core that start to come together, kind of like tuning the instruments and bringing them all together like a symphony. So we work the adductors, pelvic floor, and the deep belly. As you inhale, sit back into your heels, reach your arms up over your head. Good. And then as you exhale, squeeze your block. Jamie, bring your feet in a little bit closer. Yeah, your hips aren't that wide. Good. Inhale, Utkatasana, sit back. That looks so much better. Yeah. And then exhale, squeeze into your block and stand. Tone the pelvic floor, hug in around baby. Inhale, sit back. Good. And exhale, squeeze in and stand. That's it. Keep this going. We'll do about 8 more. And Carolyn, I know baby's still below the pubic bone. So as we hug in around baby, you're kind of like just hugging your navel back towards your spine. Exhale to stand. At about 20 weeks, the top of the uterus is at the belly button. And it's kind of amazing to think that, the uterus, this amazing organ, grows and expands so much and then goes back to original size. It moves from a pelvic organ to an abdominal organ. Pretty awesome. 3 more. Inhale. Exhale, squeeze your block. Hug in, navel to spine. Inhale. Exhale, 2. Gorgeous. Last one. Inhale. Exhale, 1. Nice. You can get rid of your block here, and you might just put it somewhere in the middle of the mat. We'll use it in a little bit, but stand with your feet outer hips width and reach your arms up, and then come into Utkatasana, no block. And then take your right arm on top of your left. So you could give yourself a big hug like this, or you could lace up your arms and grab your right wrist with your left hand. Now pull your forearms forward and your fingers up if your arms are bound. So we're gonna just open up the back, widen the back, stretch the lats, and get into those hips. So untuck your tailbone, go back into your heels like you're sitting into a chair in a kindergarten classroom. It's low. Two more. Inhale and straighten your knees. Exhale here. Inhale, circle your arms slowly down, around, and up. And then again, come back. I know, no break. Yeah, good. Good. So left arm on top. You can do your big hug, or you can bring your hands to eagle and grab your left wrist with your right hand. Circle it. Yeah, good. And then sit your hips back, draw your forearms forward, your fingertips up. Two more. So nice. Keep the bind. Inhale to stand. Exhale here. And then slowly inhale, circle your arms down, around, and up. And exhale your hands to your heart in prayer. All right, so a little more hip strengthening in a different way. We're gonna bring the block on the long lengthwise, especially if you have long feet, make sure it's nice and long, under your left foot. I think we did this one last week too with tree pose. So it's like you're putting on a platform shoe. Left foot on the block. If you have a long foot, just make sure your heel and the ball of the foot is on it. It's okay if the toes are not on it. Okay, and then bring your right ankle level with your left. You can do this on a book or a stairwell if you don't have a yoga block. Let your right hip and right ankle drop so you feel how you sit into your left hip. Now fix that by drawing your left hip in and down. So your ankles are level and you're gonna feel this activation. Nice. Now take your right foot either to your calf or to your thigh in tree pose. And then from here, hands to your heart and find a drishti that's not a screen. It's like a mantra we all need these days. Especially the kiddos in virtual school. Two more. Keep hugging that outer hip in and pushing it down to level. Good, looks good. Switch sides. So just gently come off your platform shoe and bring your right foot on it. Make sure, even if the foot is long, it's the toes that drape off of it, not your heel. And keep your ankles level, float your left foot up. Good. And then feel that you can drop your left ankle, your left hip down. So this is like when you hold your baby one day on one hip. You might find yourself here, and remember this exercise. Press into your right foot, level your hips, right hip in and down. Yeah, good. And then take your left foot to your calf, or you can pick it up, bring it up to your thigh, and keep fighting for that right hip in and down. So it's a lateral shift and a root. And then the inner musculature of the pelvis draws in and up. And the spine rises, the breastbone rises. And the drishti, the gazing point of the eyes, finds a non-moving point that's not a screen. And we hold here 2 more breaths. This is so much harder for me on my right side, and I know I hold my almost 3-year-old in my right hip. It's interesting to notice all these little imbalances. Come on down after you have your baby in your wrists, your shoulders, your hips. Yoga's really good for all that. All right, so from here, come on back to the back of your mat. Turn your feet out a little bit, feet mat's width. Bend your knees, circle your arms up, look up. And as you exhale, come on down, modified. Remember, hugging in or full yogi squat. And we'll walk our hands forward and come on back into down dog. And just give yourself a couple of deep breaths to arrive in your down dog. Nice. Alexa, bring your ears in line with your biceps so your drishti will be a little forward. Yeah, little split the difference. Relax just a smidge. Right there. Yeah. Good. Feel that broadening across the collarbones and the upper back. Beautiful. All right. From here, look forward. Step your right foot outside of your right pinky finger. Pause here, grab blocks. You're gonna stack them. If you're small or petite, you might put one block only under your left thigh. Yeah. If you are taller, like for my tall frame, you can see how I'm dumping into my sacrum. We don't want that. You can stack them. So you can put your blocks like this, one on top of the other under your left thigh. And let me show up close to the screen. The blocks are not stacked quite like this, but the top one is angled back. So like back towards the wall behind me. It's on the corner and it would fall except that I'm clamping my thigh onto the flat edge of it. Yeah, so Carolyn, angle that top block back towards your left toes. It'll be on the beveled edge of your, yeah, that's it. Good. So this is going to create a little scaffolding for the sacroiliac joints so we don't dump into them. Now, perch up on your fingertips and look forward. Good. And take a couple more breaths here. Push into the top of your left toes. Go forward with your breastbone. Pull your outer right hip back and bump your left hip to the left, like you're closing a car door with your left hip. So bump your left hip out. Yeah, so it doesn't go into the right hip's lane. Now, from here, we'll seal the left foot down to the ground at a 45-degree angle. So you can get rid of your blocks. You can put them under your hands for here and pause. Back foot at a 45-degree angle, front knee bent. I'll show from this side. So we're gonna build a corner right around the right ankle. Tall height blocks, one behind the right ankle on the pinky toe edge, right side of it, and the other directly behind your heel. And that's gonna hold. You're gonna try to hold that. Walk your fingertips towards the front left corner. So what the body is gonna wanna do is this. Do you see how my knee is like collapsing in towards the direction of my arms? But I want you to hold your ground so you get into your hip strength. You hold that corner. You touch the block with your shin. You touch the block with your calf. Don't lose that contact. Hold your ground as you reach your arms out to the left. Yeah, nice, Irene. That's exactly it. Keep pressing your right thigh back so that right knee is directly over your second toe. It's going to put you into your hip strength. 2 more. And from here, walk your hands back in and grab one of those blocks. You can kind of get rid of your corner at this point. You'll just want one of them. Tall height, right behind your right leg. Take your left hand to your sacrum. Look down to your right big toe. Start to push into the ball of your right foot and straighten your right knee for Trikonasana triangle pose. So you'll straighten out your right knee. And then lengthen through your right waist. Now the block can be really nice. It makes it a whole lot less jarring on your sacrum. If you want, you can keep the block. If you don't need it, you can lower it or get rid of it. But know that a block is a great option during pregnancy in triangle pose, if that feels nice. Left arm can reach up overhead or all the way out to the wall in front of you. And then find your breath. Slow and steady. We talked last week about letting this top hip roll forward just a little bit so you're not stacking your 2 hip bones like you're between a pane of glass. So let that left hip roll forward, root into your left heel, go forward through the breastbone. Last breath. Now, to come out of this, let's bend the right knee and come back through reverse warrior. Draw your left hand down your left leg, reach back, reach back, reach back. And as you exhale, cartwheel your hands down inside of your right foot. Pick up your left heel and step back, down dog. And take a big breath in, look forwards. Exhale, step your left foot outside your left pinky finger. Pause here. So if you have a smaller frame, you're shorter, petite, one block tilted back under your right thigh. If you have longer legs, are taller, you'll want two blocks. And right under that right thigh, the top block angled back. Yeah, good. Good. Get into your left heel. Push into the heel. Fire up the back of your leg. Pull your left hip crease back. Nice. Bump your right hip to the right. Look forward, lungs forward. Two more. All right, from here, we're gonna move those blocks. You can put them under your hands for a moment and plant your right foot down at a 45-degree angle. Your back heel. Yeah, good. And then grab your blocks and build your corner. So one tall block behind your left outer ankle and one behind your left heel. And you want to stay in contact with your blocks. So watch that your left thigh doesn't roll in as you walk your hands to the front right corner. And let's start to walk the hands out to, I guess this would be like 2 o'clock on a clock face. Yeah. Press down into the pinky toe side of your right foot. Nice. Mary Kate, go down with your pelvis. Yes, and hold that corner. So nice. One more. Now walk your hands back in, set up for triangle pose. You can get rid of the corner. You'll just have one block for triangle pose behind your left leg. Right hand to your sacrum. Look down to your left big toe. Push into the ball of your left foot. Nice, Jamie, as you straighten that left knee. And then you can lower or release the block if that is not needed. Draw your right arm up. Feel the right half of the pelvis roll forward. Maybe draw the right arm over your head. Feel the left side waist lengthening forward. Good. Keep letting that right hip roll forward. Yeah, good. And Jamie, unlock your left knee. Find a soft little bend. And yep, that's it. Nice, Carrie. Turn your ribs open to the right. Send, yes, beautiful. Your left lung through your right shoulder blade back. That's it. Nice, Leslie. Last breath. Now from here, bend your left knee and let's come up through reverse warrior. Right arm down the right leg, reach back. And as you exhale, cartwheel your hands down inside of your left foot. Pick up your right heel and step back, down dog. Lower to your knees for easy thread the needle twist. If there's any acid reflux or nausea, sit cross-legged, twist right for 5 breaths and then left. Otherwise, draw your left arm out and up, inhale, and as you exhale, thread the needle, draw your left arm through, so you're gonna rest on your left cheek. Wiggle your right hand off to the right, elbow over wrist, and turn. You can stay here or walk your right hand out in front of the crown of your head and turn a little more from the bra line up. You can also make space for third trimester bellies by picking up the back knee, so you have more room. Or even bring the palm of the left hand up like you're holding a pizza on your palm. Place the palm to your right thigh. And then maybe start to straighten your left elbow to traction your low back. Two more. And then slowly, gently release. Find your way back up to all fours. We did this last session. So you're gonna inhale through your nose. Imagine you're blowing out birthday candles. Blow out through the mouth. Do that once more. And as you exhale, press into your palms and hug in around baby. Feel your deep transverse abdominis engage. Side 2, reach your right arm out and up. And then as you exhale, thread the needle. So you're gonna rest onto your right cheek. Walk your left hand over to the left. Press into your left palm. If you're seated, you're twisting to the left. If you wanna go on, walk your left hand out in front of the head. Lean back, bra line up. Maybe third trimester mama is looking for more room, or anyone. This can just feel so nice. Straighten your left knee. And if you want to go on from here, right palm to the ceiling like you're holding a pizza pie on your palm. Then take your right palm to your left thigh and press the right elbow straight so you feel a traction of the rib cage forward out of the pelvis. Decompress the lumbar vertebra. 2 more. And then gently unwind. Come on back, all fours. And then take a big breath in through your nose and just one, blow it out through your mouth. Hug in, root down, down dog. Good, lift your hips. All right, if there's any pubic bone pain, keep both feet planted. If there's not, lift your right leg up and exhale, step your right foot forward, everybody. Right foot outside your right pinky. Warrior 2, back heel down, right hand to your thigh, left arm windmills you up, overhead and back. Root down into your feet. Activate big toe mound, baby toe mound in the center of each heel, and feel that the arches can lift up. Side angle, take your right forearm to your thigh, your left hand to your sacrum. Pause here, lift your sacrum up into your hand. Take your right palm to your belly, and then your left hand towards the ceiling. So you could stay here, or if you'd like to go on deeper, you could take your right hand down to the ground. So forearm to thigh, hand to belly, or hand to a block or the floor. 2 more. Open your chest, turn your ribs from right to left. And then from wherever you are, come back up, warrior 2. Exhale here. Good. Pivot on the ball of your left foot into goddess. So toes out, heels in. Drop down into your heels. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, gather your hands to your heart. Prayer seal. Inhale. Exhale, press out like you're pushing 2 walls away. You can straighten your knees if you need to give your legs a break. Now, keep it going. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, gather it into the heart. Come back to this question of vikalpa, fear, doubt, any self-limiting belief. Inhale here. Exhale, press out. Hug in around baby. 1 more time. Inhale, reach. Exhale, gather it in. Take a close look. What might that be? Inhale here. Exhale, press out. Now straighten your knees. Spin your 10 toes forward, hands to your hips. Lift your chest, inhale. And as you exhale, fold halfway. Big breath in. Exhale, bend your knees if you need. Fold all the way. Bring your hands to the floor, off your sticky mat, out in front of you. Yeah, now you're gonna walk your hands forward. Keep your legs wide. Find downward facing dog arms. If that's a lot to ask, you could put a block, middle height, low height, under your palms and slide the blocks forward. So we're looking for this little concave right in your upper back, little crescendo. Yes. Carrie, this is such a good one for your posture, for your upper back, like you were talking about in the check-in week 1. Yeah, open your collarbones. Good, Carrie, think of bringing your ears in line with your biceps. Reach your head forward a little bit more. Yep, just to there. Now, can you lift your hips up? Bend your knees a little bit and go up with your pelvis. Wide, that's it. You got it, wide with your sitting bones. Last breath. Good, walk your hands back in, or your blocks back in. Take them back to the top of your mat, all the way to the right side, and step back, downward facing dog. Take your time. So again, if you're lifting a leg, we'll lift the left, but if there's pubic bone pain, you don't have to do that, right? Inhale, left leg up if you're going there. Exhale, left foot forward, everyone, outside your pinky. Right heel down for warrior 2, left hand to your thigh. Windmill the right arm up, overhead, so nice, and back. And then find your footing, go down into your hips, widen your right collarbone, and breathe. One more here. Side angle pose. Bring your left forearm to your thigh, your right hand to your sacrum, and take your left hand to your belly or your bump. Go up into your hand with your sacrum. You can stay here, right arm to the ceiling, or slide your left hand down to a block or the floor inside of your left foot. Yeah, nice, Alexa. So lovely. Open your chest. Plug into your back heel. That's it. 2 more. Leslie, lengthen your tailbone towards your right heel. So your lower back elongates. Yep. Now lean back with your shoulder blades. Okay, come on back up, warrior 2. Pivot on the ball of your right foot, goddess. Heels in, toes out. And as you inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Take a big breath in. And exhale, press out through the palms of your hands. Good. And connect to that question of vikalpa, fear, doubt. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, pull it in close. Inhale, take a big breath up to the heart. Exhale, press it out. Last time, inhale, gather it up. Exhale, draw it in. Inhale, breathe up to the heart, that unstruck space, anahata. Exhale, press out. We straighten the knees, guide the hands to the hips, spin the 10 toes forward. Roll the shoulders up and back, lift your heart, and as you exhale, fold halfway. Pause here in your half fold. Bring your hands to the floor off your sticky mat, and then you can use your blocks, and maybe you use them this time if you didn't the first time, or try without if you did the first time. You can always mix and match, and that can give you a sense of what works well for your body. If you always do things the same way, it can be kind of nice to experiment with the props. Bend your knees. Melt the back of your heart like you did in puppy pose and anahatasana, heart melting pose. One more. And as you're ready, walk your hands or your block hands on over to the left. And then step it back, downward dog. Take a full breath in. Full breath out. Lower to your knees. And we're going to set up on our backs. So I also want to acknowledge the time. It's almost 10:15. So I am going to do a little more hip strengthening work, probably about 10 minutes more. So we're going to go over a little bit. If you don't have time to do the complete practice, you could set up for supported fish, same way we started. End it here, and then I'll send out the recording so you could catch the whole practice later. Otherwise, if you can stay with me, do. Lie down on your left side. So we're going to do a little bit of hip stability, hip strength work here. You'll want your strap, if you have one, and your 2 blocks nearby. Lie down with your left arm under your cheek, with your right hand out in front of you, and your knees stacked and your hips stacked. Clamshell exercise, and you can really find infinite ways to do the same exercise. This is in one of the 20-minute little pod practices called the fire practice, and it's going to wake up your glute med. This is a good mom muscle because it creates stability in the base of the body, the pelvis and the spine. These are areas that can get achy when you are waddling and you're pregnant or you're holding a baby on one hip. So we're going to just lift the right knee up and then lower it down. That's all. So lift up and lower down. Try not to let your right hip roll around. Try to stack. You can always bring your hand back there and feel. Keep it going. About 5 more. Lift and lower. Let's do one more and then keep the leg up and lower it down just a third of the way and then back up. So these are kind of more micro movements for 10. And you can just breathe naturally. 9, you don't have to match this to the breath. 8, like we do with our yoga positions. 7, 6, hopefully you're feeling this right hip. 4, yeah, good. 3, 2, 1, and hold it up. 3 deep breaths. Mary Kate, this should also be really, supportive to your knees. So as you hold it up, watch that the top hip doesn't roll back. 1 more breath. All right, come on to your back to get to side 2. I'm just going to do a little sit spin so I can see you all, but you can just roll on your back. So you'll be on your right side with your knees stacked. Yeah, and your left hand out in front of you, or maybe you're back here kind of palpating, making sure things are lined up. Lift your left knee and then lower it. And lift and lower. Good, keep it going. Let's do about 4 more. These are great to do in the second trimester when you're building strength. You have your energy back, building strength to support your body as baby gets bigger. Last one, keep your leg up and lower like 1/3 of the way and then all the way up. Just keep that going. Breathe naturally for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, good, 3, 2, and hold it up. 2 more breaths. These little kind of exercises, they're not really postures, can be good to do before a practice to rev the muscles that are hard for you to fire in your yoga practice. For a lot of us, that's our glutes. Okay, lower it. Come onto your back. Just roll onto your back, and I'm going to give 2 options. If you are wanting to, you could put the strap around your thighs, or you could squeeze into a block. So we're going to take bridge pose, and we're going to activate our glutes in either abduction when you press out, like into the boundary of the strap, or adduction when you hug into the block. And what I might suggest is if you're feeling pubic bone pain, like Mary Kate and others, in the front of your pelvis, squeeze into the block, middle or narrow width. If you're feeling SI joint pain, press out into the strap. Okay, so these practices can be really balancing. So you're either going to be hugging in or pressing out. And once you've got your prop, it's easier if it's a block, that's for sure. Come onto your back and set up with your knees right over your heels. And then roll up into bridge pose. And press out into the boundary of the strap, or if you have the block, hug into your strap. You can interlace your hands if you want to. This is really about the legs. It's about strength and stamina in our hips. But if you also want to kind of multitask and get into your chest and your mid-back, that can feel so nice. So go for it. Press into your heels. Can you really awaken the top of your hamstrings and your glutes? Press out or hug in. Breathe slowly. Two more. Good, and then slowly, gently release. Move the block or the strap out of the way. Roll to your side and come on up. So we're going to do our hip stretch in fish, which puts an interesting spin on things. So same setup that you started with, 1 block under the back of your head and 1 block like right under your upper back between those shoulder blades. And what this does is puts us down into our hip crease. So come and join me here in fish. And if this is impossible, it can be really difficult for some people depending on, how available that tilt of your pelvis is. But if it's not happening, just take pigeon pose. We did this one last week, right? From down dog, right shin through. Okay, so from fish pose, you're gonna take your right ankle across your left thigh. And then press your right ankle into your left thigh, press your right knee forward. And this is just going to force us to draw down into the depth of the pelvis so that we don't tuck the tailbone and contract the pelvic floor. So with the blocks kind of propping up the chest and the head, you have to go down into the depths of your hips. Keep pressing that right thigh forward. You can keep your arms down by your side. You can bring them into a cactus shape. If you're early on and you have more space, you can try with the strap or with your hands to pull your left leg in, and that gets interesting. And that's not available as baby gets bigger. But if you're pulling the leg in, you'll really feel that puzzle piece of going down into your hips so you're not tucking your tailbone. Wherever you are, take one more full breath. Press, 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 right thigh forward, right ankle into left thigh. And then switch. Right foot to the ground, left ankle over right thigh, and you're going to press forward. So this hopefully feels like a nice stretch after all the strengthening work we've done in our hips today. You can stay here, cactus your arms, or maybe with your hands or a strap if you're earlier. Bring your right knee in. Keep wherever you are, pressing your left ankle and your left thigh forwards. Go down into the depths of your hip crease. Untuck your tailbone. Last breath. All right, from here, bring your feet to the ground and bring the soles of your feet together in Supta Baddha Konasana. Take the palms of your hands to your thighs and give a gentle press. So again, you'll find that nice action of traction, the rib cage out of the pelvis. And then relax, close your eyes, let your palms face up. Let go, let go, let go. Let the weight of your body drop into the support beneath you. We'll do a little dynamic Mula Bandha and then we'll relax completely here. So take a nice deep breath in. And as you exhale, think of hugging in around baby and toning the pelvic floor in and up, 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 up. Mula Bandha, root lock. As you inhale, relax the pelvic floor, soften and widen. Feel your abdomen expand. And then as you exhale, hug in around baby and tone the pelvic floor in and up, 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 up. Inhale, relax the pelvic floor, broad, soft, wide. Exhale, Mula Bandha, root lock. Hug, tone the pelvic floor, the muscles between the tailbone, pubic bone, and two sitting bones in and up, 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 up. Keep this going on your own with the exhale engaging and with the inhale relaxing. Let's do one more round. Muladhara. That ground of being. And now, with your eyes still closed, you can use your hands to gather your knees in. Bring your feet wide, a little wider than your hips, and allow your inner knees to touch. Constructive rest. You can rest your arms down by your sides, palms face up. In the energetic body, the Muladhara, the root, the pelvic floor, is related to these four petals of our existence. Our health, our home. So for you, Irene, that one's shifting big time, yeah. Our sense of prosperity and our community. This is the ground floor of our being. Muladhara. As you rest here just a moment longer, I'll return to this idea of vikalpa that we talked about a bit throughout the practice and in our check-in. So the vikalpas are the shadow side of the sankalpa. The sankalpa is our clear, aligned, heartfelt intention, our inner North Star. And our vikalpa are our fears or self-limiting beliefs or doubts that creep in and obscure the path moving from that sankalpa. And so the idea here is before we set a really clear sankalpa, we're going to weed the garden before we plant the seed. We're going to identify the vikalpa, get curious about it, move closer to it. So as you rest, just notice what arises for you around this idea. Notice if there's any fears in your path right now. Maybe you've been pushing them away or blocking them out, or maybe you've really been thinking about them and talking about them, and kind of digesting them, moving through them. And I'd like to read a list of, in yoga, in the Sister Science of Yoga in Ayurveda, we have the 3 doshas, the Vata, Pitta, and Kapha dosha. And there's different physical attributes that correspond with each dosha, but there's also different energies and emotions that correspond with each. So I kind of want to read these lists of the different doshas and the emotions and see if this might help with the thought process around vikalpa. Vata, which is air and space element, fear, anxiety, hyperactivity, indecision. Pitta, which is earth and fire element, anger, greed, jealousy, hate, envy, rage. And Kapha, which is earth and water element, guilt, attachment, melancholy, grief, lethargy. Yeah, and then before things get too heavy, take a couple big breaths up to your heart. And I want to read, especially for those of you approaching birth, and I'll send this out to the group as well, the fear release. This is a meditation or a reading that I share during blessing ways and baby showers and prenatal classes. So I'll read it here. There goes all fear you hold about giving birth. The birth will be perfect. There goes all fear you hold about healing. You will heal beautifully. There goes all fear you hold about not being a good mother. You will be enough. There goes all fear of never being creative again. You have a deep well of creativity within your soul. There goes the deepest, most private fears you have about giving birth. You will be enough. You will be enough. You are strong enough. So take a big breath here. And as you exhale, bring the soles of your feet to the mat. Bend your knees. Reach your left arm over your head, your right hand to your belly, and then roll to your left side and rest on your left side for a breath. And then use your hands to come on up to any comfortable seat. We're just going to be here for one Om together, so don't worry, we won't be sitting still long. With your eyes closed, bring your hands to your heart in prayer seal. And we'll seal our practice with the sound of Om. Deep breath in. Namaste. So your homework is to journal and think and, talk with friends, parents, partners about this Vikalpa idea. It's nice to start putting it out and sharing it with loved ones as you meditate on it, so you can move through it. On the last session, we're going to try to distill vikalpa to like one word, and then sankalpa to a sentence or a single word that's no more than 5 words if it's a sentence. So we're going to get really like clear and concise with these, but you might start the process of just brainstorming and talking with loved ones. And then if you want to share in the last session, we'll have a moment for that. Thanks for being here. I'll stick around if anyone has questions.